The other guys, the Mouseketeers, whatever you want to call them, the non-Tracy McGrady players in white for Orlando, do they get theirs in the early going? They had only 11 field goals total. 11 players, 11 field goals in game 2. Hamilton, first shot of the game is off. DeClerc did a nice job defensively. And Jacques Vaughn, the former Kansas star, leads it up with McGrady. And it's not just going to be the point totals, it's going to be can they be efficient. As a role player, you're not going to get a lot of shots, but you have to do the 5 for 8, 4 for 6. R1G3, 2 of 13 in the series, 1 of 11 in the last game, and threw it away. Talk about Giricek and everybody else who must step it up. You see they shot only 26% from the field and were bageled behind the line in game 2. The Pistons jumped out to a 41-19 second quarter lead in the game on Wednesday. And tempo is always key when Detroit plays. Although they're not as offensively challenged as they were last year, when you're playing in this building against a team that likes to run, you got to be careful you don't get caught up in their tempo. Ben Wallace's pushed foul called by Jess Kersey. The veteran works the game with Eddie F. Rush and Ken Bauer tonight. Doc Rivers was the coach of the year in 2000. A hustling team that had Chucky Atkins, the Piston backup point guard, as one of the key contributors. Doc has worked his team to the playoffs for the 3rd consecutive year, and 3 out of his 4 here in Orlando. Cliff Robinson, a 2. Nice draw and pick right there. I'm not sure why Andrew DeClerc is up guarding Ben Wall. I don't think Ben Wall is going to shoot an 18-footer, unless is about 2 seconds behind. It's very important to watch for Orlando's young players. A lot of non-playoff experienced players in this series for the Magic. Jacques Vaughn, who's had 4 points and 6 assists in each of the first 2 games, gets the first field goal for the Magic. Vaughn now defensively on Billups. Tried to use the wall from Wallace and crash through it, but Jacques picked up the personal foul. Rick Carlisle was the coach of the year last year and then won 50 games in his 2nd consecutive season. His Pistons eliminated Toronto last year in round 1 and then lost 4-1 in the Eastern semis to Boston. Came back with 50 in the division title here in 2003. Good ball movement. Hamilton left free for 2. One thing about Detroit, they play as hard as anybody in the league night in and night out. You don't see them take very many nights off, whether it's a road game, back-to-back. They give you 48 minutes of effort. That's their foundation. Drew Gooden, great game 1, poor game 2, turned away, threw it away. And that's Drew Gooden going a little too fast. He goes 45 when it should be played at 33 sometimes. Absolutely, it's just too quick. You can see the nice passing right here. Kick out, cross-court passes are great, then they skip over to Rip Hamilton. So yeah, back to Gooden. Young players sometimes, you need to take a big deep breath, slow down, and don't try to rush everything. You got to get the feeling, if I'm trying to rush it, then it's not right. Hamilton off a curl. He did that 8,000 times at UConn and has continued through his years with Washington and then the trade this year to Detroit. Rip averaged 19.7 per game. And another Magic turnover, so that is 3 in the first 2.5 for Orlando. Little home jitters for Doc's team. Michael Curry, who has some offensive skills but doesn't show them very often. Billups connects, and the Pistons have extended to an early 8-2 advantage. Now this is the point where it's 8-2. If you're a role player, do you still say, if I'm open, I shoot the ball? Or do you say, Tracy, we're down 8-2? DeClerc takes it into his own hands and picked up the charging foul as Cliff Robinson was there defensively. Well, gives Cliff some guts on that one. Standing on that guy, coming in about 240 from the top of the key. 2 on DeClerc, he sits. Right about here, it's like, ooh, that one's going to hurt. DeClerc to the bench with 2, and Stephen Hunter. Out of DePaul, the second-year man comes in. See the Magic giving it away early while the Pistons have opened 4 of 5, and Hamilton makes it 5 of 6. Terrific start for Detroit tonight in Orlando. They've quieted the sellout crowd. And that's just catch and shoot. That's coming right up the curl, knowing what you got, knowing how far you are away, and knowing you're going to have an opening. Pistons, an outstanding road team. Second best in the East, 20-21. McGrady, nice take, 200. They needed that, get some energy going in the building. And not only scoring, that's what I was talking about earlier. This is a guy that not only creates for himself, but can create for his teammates. And that as a role player makes you feel good. Robinson on Gooden. It's a veteran against a kid. Indeed. By the the kid, and Giracek just couldn't squeeze it. Gordon Giracek can't get out of his own way right now.
And we're talking about being able to create the crossover on Curry, get to the middle, look at everybody around. Ben Wall stepping up, that leaves Stephen Hunter right there open on the baseline for the easy deuce.
Not only did McGrady lead the league in points at 32 a game, 18th in assists at 5.5.
Well, he's certainly not a guy that's just looking to jack it up 30 times a game. I mean, he wants to take high percentage shots. And a turnover by the Pistons right there, bad pass by Billups. If he can get you involved, he wants to get you involved. He doesn't want to have to shoot it 35 times a game. I mean, he will, but he doesn't want to, and he doesn't think that's best for the team.
Set Orlando playoff scoring records in the first couple of games. They say, what? Young franchise. Oh, they had Shaq and McGrady. Curry there defensively. Fans wanted the foul as McGrady hit the deck. It's been one of the topics of conversation. Why not more fouls called against Detroit? Robinson hits a three.
Well, that guy, you know, you look at him, 6'11", you think he's probably an inside guy. He's a spot-up guy, and especially he's dangerous coming on the back end of a break on a trail.
Curry tried to deny McGrady, and the president of the NBA Players Association picks up his first.
And you're right there. Just spots up. Gooden has to come over and help on the drive and kick back to him. But when he gets a feet set, you got to get there and put a hand in his face, or he's going to make a high percentage of those.
34% three-point shooter. With the Pistons signed to a contract extension during the season, he has 2 more years with Detroit.
You saw the difference right there between Giracek and Hamilton. The comfort zone to be able to just come off the screen and shoot it.
Drew Gooden knocks down his first field goal. The Truth, as his nickname was earned at Kansas, traded from Memphis.
Did he pay Walter Berry for that? The old St. John's guy? I thought he was the Truth. Or Carl Williams. There's a lot of Truths out there, actually.
Robinson tried to go back-to-back on the triples. Hamilton rips down the rebound. And Billups will back it out. McGrady chasing Hamilton. Short, and Gooden cleans the glass. Giracek desperately needs one, but Hamilton was right in his face. No space to move against these Pistons for Giracek. McGrady on the take. Offensive foul on Tracy.
Well, you better believe every Piston's going to have their eyes locked on Tracy McGrady when he catches the ball. And when he puts the ball down, you're going to have guys gravitate to the spot where they think he's going to end up. And you watch the rotation right here. In the middle, nice job by Ben Wall stepping in and just sitting there waiting for him.
Fans don't like it. I know fans are ultra sensitive to whistles after last night's action. That was a perfect call.
Yeah,
that's a no-brainer. Hamilton at 2. Missed his last couple of shots, and Stephen Hunter gets the rebound.
Nice job, too, boxing out Ben Wallace that time.
It's a couple of good things Hunter has done since coming in from DeClerc. Shot ball on the bounce to Hunter. Fouled by Wallace.
Boy, nice pass right there.
I didn't think he could get it through.
No, I don't know how he saw it. I think that's just anticipation. Knowing that someone's coming over to help and dropping it where you think your player is going to be, that takes communication.
Hunter short on the first. A rare trip to the line this year. He averaged 13 minutes a game in 33 games and only shot 44 free throws on the season. And missed both of these. Stephen came at it to Paul after a couple of years. Offensive game has not caught up with what he did well in college as a 7-footer, block shots and rebound. Curry left alone. They'll give him that, and he takes it. A 2 for Michael, one of 3 players on this Detroit roster who was not drafted.
That 4 times 2, 8 eyes on him, and they're going to know where he's going. They're going to anticipate and make it rough on him.
Michelle?
Hey guys, when they get on defense, Orlando, the big message imparted to Gordon Giracek, don't leave Hamilton, please. That was the message from Coach Doc Rivers in the huddle, guys.
Here is McGrady, who wanted to squeeze that one off, and he hits it too. You know, for McGrady, 89 points in the first 2 games, 60 of them from the perimeter. So his perimeter shooting has been extraordinary, and it's not like he's had many open looks.
But you're going to live with that, just like right now, the Orlando Magic are going to live with what the Pistons are doing. 7 of 12 field goal attempts, all of them from the outside, all of them with assists. If they keep doing that, you're in trouble, but you figure sooner or later they're going to cool down.
Inside to Wallace, who converts. Terrific recognition and ball movement by a veteran Detroit club there. The double started on Hamilton, and eventually it got around to the open man, Wallace.
Now it's a three-foot shot. Now it's a jump shot for Wallace.
Jacques Vaughn got close. Wallace got in the way, and so did the rim, but Drew Gooden cleaned it up. Couple of field goals now for Gooden. Check. Michael Curry presents himself again, and he's hit 2 field goals. That's what I was talking about. There are people in Detroit who won't even mention Michael Curry's name. He's become the call-in show first mention. Hunter on the follow, couldn't convert. They get so frustrated that Curry doesn't have the offensive skills, but he has some offensive game. He's in there primarily for his defense.
Well, he's the guy you can't just leave him wide open for a jump shot.
Vaughn goes all the way. That time able to convert.
The last 2 plays, they're trying to get out, push it up, try to get this tempo going the way they like it. And I still say, if you're Doc Rivers right now, you're not too upset because they've been hitting all jump shots. And if they're going to hit 55% jump shots, you're in trouble anyway.
Good shooting, the difference in the game thus far. The turnovers for Orlando. Robinson lost it. Wallace got it back, and he was fouled as he tried to shoot. 2 shots. It was in the act. Says Kennedy. That was called a flagrant foul on Jacques Vaughn, a flagrant 1. So Wallace makes it, and he'll have 1 more coming.
Let's see Ben Wallace with the offensive rebound going. Well, you can't grab the man's head. They're crying out loud. I mean, you can grab the basketball, not his head. Yeah, that one I agree with. And not only grabs his head, he hangs on.
So flagrant 1 called, and the Pistons retain possession. Wallace goes 1 of 2 from the line.
Maybe he got a fingernail caught in one of his cornrows. Couldn't get it out. Who knows?
Detroit by 8.
Nice.
Oh, better defense coming over by Stephen Hunter. He's been very good. McGrady ready to go. Hamilton helps Curry defensively. Robinson tipped it out of bounds. 17 to shoot for Orlando.
Oh, that was a great cut, a great pass, and a better block. And right there, that was just sweet. Not out the other way. That's some length right there.
Giracek squeezes 1 off. Ben on the board for Detroit. Ben Wallace, who led the NBA, averaged 15.5 rebounds per game. Phillips left 3 for 3. As the second time, Giracek had an easy rebound and just didn't squeeze it. And Doc's got a problem right now because if you put the guy on the bench, but just 2 in the first 9 minutes thus far. Darrell Armstrong comes in and immediately makes an impact with the steal and thought about Gooden, tried to get it to Giracek, and Gordon Giracek is lost right now. Hamilton in transition. Curry with the left-hand flush. He has a half dozen. Pistons up 10.
Well, you can see it in Giracek's face, too. Just, yeah, the confidence isn't there. You miss the 1 shot you take, you drop a ball out of bounds, you lose a fast break. Easy opportunity after steal by Armstrong. Good fumble on that one.
Tried to drive, and on the pass, Giracek was fouled.
And even stuff like that happens. If you're going to shoot, they foul. You go to the free throw line, it's like, yeah, that was the worst as a player. You almost like try to just throw something up over your head if you hear the whistle.
Well, Giracek will come to the bench, and Chris Whitney will come in for Orlando. Rookie from Croatia, he's 25 years old, frustrated. Pat Garrity also checks in. He's playing with a bruised pelvis, which is as painful as it sounds.
And it sounds painful.
And he has been limited, barely able to get lift off that right leg. You can see it in the jumper, and it is a jumper that has been off. Garrity has only scored 2 points in this series, and he averages nearly 11 a game.
Well, it's funny, as a bruised pelvis, what does he get off? A 3, standstill. Got to make him put the ball on the ground.
McGrady, with Curry in his face, hits a 3.
Think about him, too, McGrady. He hits as many tough shots as anybody in the league. I mean, guys right in his face, and he's still able to elevate over him and drain him.
That was corrected to a 2. So Hamilton's field goal there makes it a 10-point lead again at 24-14. Hamilton leads all scorers with 8. Michael Curry has 6. 3 Orlando players with 4. And Darrell Armstrong, the 9th-year veteran, another undrafted player, gets the hoop there. Cliff Robinson hobbled after that one. Bucky Atkins came in the game for Chauncey Billups. former Orlando player. Defensive 3 seconds is called on Orlando, a technical foul. Free throw coming for Hamilton. Log on to NBA.com for the exclusive 2003 playoffs section featuring live post-game press conferences, photo galleries, video highlights, and more. Love it live on NBA.com. Very good free throw shooter, 83% is Hamilton. Pistons +9 and retain possession. First look at the rookie from Turkey, Mehmet Okur. As mentioned, Cliff Robinson was shaken up earlier. Slowly, Cliffy walks to the bench.
Well, Okur is a guy you come in, another big guy like Robinson that's going to not kill you posting up. He's going to face the bucket. He can almost extend his range out to the three-point stripe.
Whitney extends the defense on Hamilton, giving away a lot of size. Chris Whitney is 6 foot. Hamilton 6'7". Rip over top. Ooh, write it down.
Talking about Grady hitting tough shots. 2 guys right in your face.
Hamilton 5 of 9 from the field, 11 points in this opening quarter, and 69 points in the first 9 quarters of this series. Whitney tries 3. Wallace able to get it.
That's what you love about Wallace. He came from the far box, pursued the ball, and got the rebound when 2 other guys were actually in better position to get that rebound.
Garrity bumps Wallace. See if Wallace makes a look at the goal here. A little fade for Ben.
Yeah. That was one that looked like it came off right guy's foot. Just kind of hung in the air for a while and landed softly inside the 10.
Armstrong left free for 3. Relentless energy was missing in game 2 because he picked up 2 personal fouls in his first 2 minutes.
Well, he's a guy not so much anymore, but if he gets hot, he can give you 20, 25 points. It's just he plays at such high intensity over the last 3 or 4 years. He's kind of beating his body up a little bit.
Back to 8. On the bump, Hamilton gets some free throws out of it. Whitney picked up the foul. Rip is able to elevate quickly anyway, but with a 7-inch height difference, it's night and day.
Well, you can see the confidence in Rip Hamilton when he's coming off the screens, just slow, okay, I got it, shot, dribble, pump fake, get you up in the air. And the last couple times he hasn't pump fake, he's gone up. So Whitney thinks he's going to catch, dribble, and go straight up. He gets him up, foul, go to the free throw line.
Hamilton and Whitney know each other, the former backcourt starters in Washington. You watch Hamilton here at the free throw line as he takes his second. I love this routine. He has 2 dribbles, dribble to the side, and then he brings it in, shoots it. It kind of sets a nice rhythm for him, that dribble off to the side as he gets set.
You would know more than I, but didn't that all start with Dwayne Washington, Syracuse, kind of they have the style with the free throw shoot. You know, get the dribble and the head cock, and then you just clank it up there about 61%. I mean, a lot of those guys seem like they actually worked on their moves more than they worked on the free throw shooting. Is this look cool? Yeah.
Little bend, deep breath. 1, 2, do next side. There you go.
It's all rhythm. What gets you into your shooting rhythm? You do it. Free throw is all repetition. You just want to do the same thing over and over and over again. Well, unless you stink, then you might want to change.
Tayshaun Prince has come in the game. Did a good job on McGrady earlier. It's Curry in there now. Final seconds of the quarter. Watched by Curry. T-Mac on the take. Ben Wallace the board. Quarter done. Michelle Tafoya, the Tracy McGrady we visited with today, certainly focused and is becoming a leader as this series and season goes on.
No question. He said, I'm out to prove a lot of people wrong, that although I'm the only all-star on my team, I'm going to be capable of pulling this off. He really wants to get out of the first round, Mike.
Here he is now chased by Prince. Wallace inside defensively, and he goes inside to get a hoop there. And it's an 8-point game. See the numbers after one. Good shooting from both teams. The difference, the 6 magic turnovers, giving Detroit more opportunity. The Pistons assisting on 10 of the 12 field goals in the first quarter, and a travel call on Hamilton. Good defense by the veteran Armstrong.
I think you look at the 10 assists as a big number. The 10 assists, it means you're moving the ball well. Guys aren't having to create a lot of one-on-one opportunities. They're not only creating, but they're pitching out, and guys are wide open and hitting jump shots.
Armstrong shut off, try to get Sean Kemp dialing down the lane. Kemp is in there with Pat Garrity. Armstrong and Whitney the backcourt with McGrady as well. The Pistons had 15 assists in game 1, 20 assists in game 2. Off the screen, McGrady. Prince tried to get to him, and it was a foul on Orlando. So Garrity will pick it up. Try to set the screen on Tayshaun Prince.
Give the guy a break. He's got a bruised pelvis for crying out loud. Hard enough to even try. Give him some credit. He stepped in and tried to set a screen.
7 Orlando fouls, 3 of them on the offensive end. And Jess Kersey settling clothing here. Chris Whitney tucked the jersey in.
They look right.
It'll make you feel good. Chucky Atkins, who was the starting point guard most of the year for Detroit last year, has been very classy in how he's handled the bench role as Chauncey Billups has taken over the starting role. Williamson in the game, double teamed. Prince able to go get it. 2 to shoot. Tayshaun saw it and took it on the run. And Ben Wallace keeps the possession alive. Left free for 3, Atkins.
Boy, that hurts. Get a nice defensive tip. Almost get a stop. There's really nothing you can do about it. You throw up a 23-foot brick, comes careening off, and just happens to be Ben Wallace anyway.
McGrady with Tayshaun Prince right in his face. And that look from McGrady starting to feel it and heat up here in quarter number 2.
I don't think he didn't hear people saying, oh, Prince did a real nice job on you last game. Prince shut you down last game. Okay, let's see what happens this game. He knows.
Taking Detroit out of their offense here a little bit. The second unit. Prince tells Atkins got to shoot it. And Garrity on the board. Well, the Pistons bench, best bench scoring-wise in the NBA. They're not getting it done here in this series yet. McGrady stays out with essentially the second unit for Orlando. It makes a world of difference. Armstrong. Kemp take it. Make it.
Now, not quite as athletic as he once was, but still a guy who knows how to play the game, pick and pop, step out, and realize he's wide open.
And the Orlando fans brought to their feet as the Magic have gotten off to a good start here in quarter number 2.
In that last huddle, Mike, Doc Rivers telling his team, look, you haven't got a break so far. Nothing's going your way. Nothing's going your way, except maybe that call right there. But he said, still and yet, he said, you're only down 6. He said on offense, if you don't like the shot you see, keep passing the ball. No reason to force it. Trying to get his guys to calm down, Mike.
That's a good point, Michelle. Really, nothing's gone their way. He's not overstating it to his guys. The offensive foul on Corliss Williamson, his first, no Piston with more than 1. John Barry in the game for Detroit. Pat Garrity can't get his legs under him to take a shot.
Yeah, it's tough, too, and you wonder how long Doc Rivers keeps him in there. He's not a guy you keep in for defensive purposes. You keep him in there to score.
Atkins used the screen, got to the cup, and give Chucky 2. You know, he's fired up to be back here. He played in Orlando.
Son Kemp got a cold on that one. He went by him.
Tracy quick take. Williamson boxing out defensively. Atkins pushing too hard and got helped by a bailout foul call on Armstrong.
Foul number 10, Darryl Armstrong.
Darryl's first.
His first team foul.
Guracek going to check back into the game. See if he can get a little confidence going.
Get a little size back in there as well.
Exactly. Well, with this lineup right here, you would expect that your primary focus is trying to get Williamson the ball on the box, and then you have Atkins and Barry and Tayshaun Prince to spot up, and Wallace go get it off the offensive glass.
Been out high, and they leave him free. Here's Williamson on the box. Garrity just digging in on Corliss. Good D. Very good D. Williamson, 13 points in the last game, got to the free throw line 8 times, just 6 in game 1. Often a barometer for this Detroit team, how Corliss goes. Kemp from 20. Ben gives away a rebound to a teammate. Rarely does he do that. Bounce right to Chucky Atkins. Off the ball. Another foul on Garrity, trying to deny Williamson that position on the low box.
I'm not sure if I like that call. I mean, I understand what you're doing, but big boys, let them battle. I love this look right here by Drew Gooden. Somebody get him a fishing pole and some Bermuda shorts to go along with that. That's like the ultimate old man look right there. Black shoes, high black socks, Bermuda shorts, fishing cap with the lures in it, a little fishing pole. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. something I might wear.
I just love when you go fashion because it just opens up a myriad of possibilities.
Believe me, I know.
Memo Core hands to Chucky Atkins, 6 to shoot. Armstrong turned him off. Atkins threw one up. And Drew Gooden, long socks and all, comes away with the board. Barry, constant energy guy, knocked it out of bounds. Rick Carlisle has not given John Barry as many minutes as Barry's used to. John averages 18 in the regular season, but just 11 and 12 minutes for the guy who's probably the best golfer in the NBA.
What's he, scratch?
Yeah, he's scratch.
Is he really?
He's pretty good. McGrady fouled by Prince, and free throws coming.
Foul number 22, Tayshaun Prince.
It was kind of bizarre to see Tayshaun Prince come in at about the 4-minute mark of game 2. When he did come in, Tracy McGrady's shooting kind of slowed down a little bit. Tayshaun held McGrady to 3 of 8 after McGrady went 13 of 18 in the first 2.5 quarters.
Well, he's long, gets up with a hand in the face, and I was talking to Kevin O'Neill, assistant for the Detroit Pistons, and he was saying because he's left-handed, he can go up on McGrady's right hand instead of having to cross over, and I think maybe that helped somewhat, although, you know, it didn't matter left-handed, right-handed, long or not. If you're going to score and McGrady get it going, you're going to get it going.
Rookie out of Auburn, Pat Burke, who played for about a half dozen years in Europe, he's come in. Prince also has a sweet outside jump shot, did not look it in the last game. Williamson to the goal, gets fouled. Corliss Williamson, he is just, I mean, a load when he gets a head of steam coming down the lane. Burke picked up the foul.
And he likes to take it to the rim. He likes to take, he's always leaning. He got that lean to his body going in. And he's just a big guy, and he's one of those guys, too, that's able to take that contact and finish a lot of the time.
The Thunder Sticks.
Don't you start, Don? You start, man, the manufactured noise.
I thought it was lame, Tom. They actually pregame had somebody out here showing people how to use Thunder Sticks. Come on. Yeah, my little guy's got it here.
He's got it going on. Yeah, if you need a instruction manual to learn how to use those things, I suggest you probably may want to get your GED to go along with it.
Discard, and an offensive foul is called on the Magic. Darryl Armstrong finds himself on his back and said, wait a minute. I'm on my back and you're calling the second on me, Ken Mar? And Doc Rivers said, okay, the fouls didn't go our way in game 2. How about balancing it out? 4 offensive fouls on the Magic here in the first 16 and a half of game 3. Mehmet Okur hands to John Barry. Okur, who has a lot of offensive skills. Good pass down low to Williamson. Denied inside. McGrady, Gooden, and Burke there defensively. And last touch by Okur. If you're just joining us, Pistons led by 9 early on, by 10, 29-19 at the quarter. Orlando, a good surge early second to keep it closer. Armstrong posting on Atkins. Little fade. Little foul, too.
Well, nice job by Armstrong. Watch him create the I was going to say create the, didn't look like there was a whole lot of contact there, to be honest. Good job Armstrong anyway, though, to finish and get the free throw.
Magic within 4 inside of 7 minutes. First half, game 3 of the best of 7. Orlando now has the home court advantage in what essentially is a best of 5 series after they split at the Palace of Auburn Hills.
He's got the lob there. Somebody better help Corliss Williamson if he wanted to feel good enough had the lob.
Corliss cannot get going, but able to hit that nice running hook with Burke flying by defensively. Back to Burke, working on Mehmet Okur. Nice. That's his patented shot, that little lefty jump hook in the lane. The guy was very good footwork for somebody who toiled for 4 years in Greece and then was signed as a free agent this summer.
Well, after spitting out a 29 spot in the first quarter, The Pistons have managed 8 in the second quarter. Wouldn't be surprised to see Hamilton getting back in the game and try to get a little more offense back.
ISO Williamson. Fadeaway over Gooden.
Give him his due on that one. That's a tough shot. Gooden did all he could do, bodied him up, make sure he couldn't get to the rim. And anytime you can force a guy to fade away baseline, you've done your job.
Beautiful pass by McGrady. Saw that Williamson got lost defensively and found Drew Gooden. Even though McGrady has 4 of 7 in the field goal department, 3 assists for T-Mac here in the opening half, and the Pistons take timeout.
When you're shooting close to 60%, you're losing. You have to figure you're not going to end the game at 60%. You're going to come back down to earth a little bit, and you realize the reason it is you have 8 turnovers. You're going to be able to hold on to the ball.
Pistons go back to mostly their starters. Exception, Williamson in for Curry. Phillips missed a 3, a rebound to McGrady. Taken on a run. Knocks down 3. Here he goes.
He just walks into him. I mean, you got to get up on him starting at about 25 feet. He'll walk right into your face and launch.
Williams, baseline on good. Oh, rolls it down! Whoa! Corliss Williamson.
Oh, he morphed into Big Nasty right there.
That's right, he did. Oh, shades of the old Arkansas days, huh? Williamson has the last 7 Piston points. You know McGrady's feeling it. Gets Williamson on the switch. Trying to give him no space. To Burt. Rebound Wallace. But that's okay if you're Doc Rivers, right?
No, that's a great shot.
Yep.
I mean, that was created by Tracy McGrady. And if you don't shoot that, you muck everything up. I mean, you got to be able to shoot the shot when you're open.
And if you don't shoot those, you have no shot of winning the series.
Absolutely.
That pass by Wallace, intercepted by Gooden. Detroit more careless with the ball here in the second. Magic a chance to tie or get within 1. Vaughn.
They just inhaled that rebound. It was up there. It was like Gooden, Wallace, Gooden, Wallace.
Due to that last turnover, I'm checking everybody out. Corliss working on the box on Gooden again. The help is coming from Burke. And Gooden called for the foul. So Corliss Williamson is just drawing fouls left and right down here on the low box. And then, look what he did earlier.
Just cupped it and ripped it. The turnaround jumpers of Corliss Williamson. That was Big Nasty.
Williamson right there with Michael Redd and Nick Van Exel. The official qualification for 6-man, limited number of starts, and Corliss started just once, playing all 82 for Rick Carlisle's team this year. Robinson finds Hamilton. Unable to pick up where he left off. Hamilton had 13 points in the opening quarter. Detroit led by as many as 10 here in Game 3. Series all tied at 1. Magic trying to get back within 1 on Drew Gooden's jumper. McGrady has 14, Gooden and Armstrong 8 apiece. Drew Gooden hasn't missed his 4 field goal attempts. 1-point game with 3:20 to go. Jiricek fouls Hamilton.
He got it. The first time, I think Hamilton wanted it, and the second time, he was going to give it to him, even if he touched him just a little bit.
First on the 6'6" rookie from Croatia, Jiricek. McGrady in his ear. If you weren't with us earlier, Jiricek had just a hideous first quarter. He couldn't catch the ball.
Yeah.
He looked afraid, and the Magic need him in this series because he has outside shot ability. Decent defender as well.
Sometimes the brain gets in the way. You just got to let it go. You just got to play and not think too much. You start thinking, boy, if I drop this one, is coach going to take me out? If I miss this shot, are my teammates going to pass it to me? You got to get rid of the if-Is and just go out there and play.
Hamilton, 1 of 2. Who's going to get it? Off the board to Jiricek. Magic and tie or take the lead on this trip. You'd sense the building were ready to go. Robinson and Williamson out on McGrady. Who's open? It's Jacques Vaughn at the top, yelling for it. Burke will take it and make it. Rip Hamilton's been no slouch in the first couple of playoff games with 28 and 30. And both leading scorers have shown up for 14 thus far tonight. All square at 42. We have Cliff Robinson free throws out of the timeout after the foul on Pat Burke.
Well, Pat Burke's giving him some energy coming off the bench. And he was the guy, when they didn't have anybody earlier in the year, he came in, he stepped up, gave him some good minutes early on in the season, both points and rebounding.
Burke, the first player born in Ireland to play in the NBA. Went to school down this way, Cape Coral High School. A much better quarter for the Magic as the Pistons' second unit, the alternators as they call them in Detroit, did not get it done again. Good. For the first time tonight, Orlando leads. Drew Gooden, after 2 of 9 in Game 2, has hit all 5 field goal attempts in the first half this evening. So he's responded. Williamson lob for Robinson. Turned it over.
You got to put a little more air into those. Just float him a little bit more. He had a nice seal job on him. He just stood a little too flat for him, and he couldn't release and get there in quick time enough.
Chuck Vaughn, McGrady, Gooden, Giracek, and Burke, the 5 on the floor for Doc Rivers.
2 minutes, less than 2 minutes.
Gooden feeling it, taking it, making it again. He's hit all 6. And he's only been with this franchise a couple of months. Gooden, Giracek in the trade from Memphis right before the deadline. Foul on the baseline on Giracek, trying to stop Rip Hamilton for one of those baseline cuts that he makes.
Well, I'm thinking at some point you may want to make Drew Gooden put the ball on the ground. 3 times in this quarter, he's hit from the left side, just catch, spot up, and shoot it right in your mouth. So you got to get up, make him put it on the ground, make him do something.
Hamilton 4 of 5 from the line, make it 5 of 6, and here's Michelle.
Hey guys, it's been a tough season for Drew Gooden when you think about it. He told me before the game, and he counted these off. He said, I've been through 3 head coaches, 15 different assistant coaches, 2 different cities, 3 different systems, 2 different sets of teammates. He said, just now I feel like I'm starting to get in my flow here. Although he did make an early impact when he hit Orlando as well, guys. But that game 1, a good indication of what he might be capable of in these playoffs.
And Michelle, 51 games he played in Memphis, and they make the coaching change as Hubie Brown came in there in late November. 1-point Orlando lead, and here is Gooden, perfect on the night from the field until now. Ben Wallace lost that rebound as Gerald Sasser made contact out off the Magic.
Well, Ben Wallace got up into him that time. Got up into him, made him make a move, and didn't let him just, set his sights and shoot from 17 feet.
Doc wanted the foul there, going for the loose ball. Minute 15 left. Magic leading by 1, 46-45. Hamilton off the curl, on the move, couldn't make it, and Burke gets the rebound.
I think he got distracted. The guy falling in front of him, worried about where he's going to put his feet down.
Pistons do a nice job on the screen and roll and recovery. McGrady is firing. Wallace gets the board, 52 to go in the quarter. 8 rebounds now for Ben. After 13 and 16 in the first 2. Hamilton trying to abuse Gerald Sasser, the second-year man, who's in the lineup for the first time. Phillips, acrobatic shot. Wallace gets his 9th board. That's goaltending. Oh, they say it was short. Say it was short. No goaltend. Vaughn on the other end. Got it to go. The building's alive in Orlando. Magic have outscored the Pistons by 13. Here in the second. Phillips foul. By Vaughn. Jacques Vaughn's 3rd.
Well, apparently this was coming nowhere near the rim. It's hard to tell from that angle. Oh, it looked pretty nice. Vaughn getting the ball out right by Curry. A nice extension on the finish. Maybe you can tell right here. Yeah, that's nowhere near the rim.
Good
that way close.
And Rick Carlisle immediately was up looking for the goaltend, and Kemar was right there, and Rick backed off. So after Vaughn's third, Billups to the line. Excellent free throw shooter, ninth best in the league. And he missed the first one. Threes once again in the playoffs. And Baron Davis looks like he will play Game 3 at Mashburn, likely not to play Game 3 with the busted finger.
One of down in New Orleans. I think they had a witch doctor down there or something, voodoo doll.
Vaughn taking. Gooden tries to beat the clock. Halftime. All right, Pistons went south in quarter number 2. Michelle, what did Rick Carlisle have to say?
Yeah, well, I spoke with him coming out of the locker room. He wants to see, of course, better play out of his team on both ends. Specifically, he pointed out that 57.1% shooting by Orlando in the first half. And for a Detroit team that has made a living defensively, that was simply unacceptable, Mike.
Yeah, they allowed 44% field goal percentage for the opponents this year. Drew Gooden, a terrific first half, but has missed his last couple of shots. Ben Wallace, Cliff Robinson, Chauncey Billups, who got nothing going, along with Michael Curry and Rip Hamilton, the 5 on the floor for the top seed in the East. Detroit won 50 games in the regular season.
Well, if Chauncey Billups can't get anything going, I don't think they can win this game.
Billups, who had 3 in the first half, extends that to 5 and squares the game at 48. McGrady and Jacques Vaughn with Gooden, Jiricek, and DeClerc, the 5 that started the game for Doc Rivers. And here's Gooden coming down the lane. Ben Wallace with the rebound, his 11th.
Well, you see a pattern. I mean, you see three jump shots, 3 makes. 3 times he put the ball on the ground, 3 misses.
Tracy looks like he took a shot under the chin on one of these possessions. This one's going the other way, a foul on Chauncey Billups. You know, Tracy McGrady doesn't have that huge smile during a game or even off the court. He's kind of just got that easy-going motion. And you've got to be around him a little bit to appreciate how well-spoken he is, his intelligence, and his emerging maturity in his 6th year. A guy who came straight out of high school has accepted a leadership role to go with his wonderful talent. He can score 32 a game in this league. DeClerc traveled. He felt he was fouled. Jeff Kersey just points the other way and says, hey, I've heard it from about 1,000 guys. You make 1,001. Play on.
Well, I think, you know, going back to Tracy McGrady, I think it's great when you can have one of the top 4 or 5 players in the league be as good a guy as he is. I mean, it's just great for the league when he can, you know, you get guys that are as nice as Tracy McGrady is.
Orlando getting frustrated here. Jacques Vaughn picks up the foul. There's 4 on the starting point guard, and brings Darrell Armstrong, who had a very good 8-point first half, in off the bench right away. You think about McGrady in December when they had that terrible spate in the fall of the sniper shootings in Washington. The youngest victim, Iran, in that one, came here to Orlando. Iran Brown, the youngest sniper victim, as Tracy McGrady's guest. After McGrady saw Cliff Robinson missed the 3, Wallace 12th rebound. After McGrady saw that the young man Brown said, Tracy McGrady is my favorite NBA player. McGrady, like Jermaine O'Neal of Indiana, paid for a military family to come to All-Star Weekend in Atlanta. One of the things that don't get as publicized. Wallace, physical at Gooden. Great job by Drew Gooden, recovering defensively. McGrady in rhythm triple. Write it down!
He's got to be your #1 priority on the break. You got to find where he is on the break, and whether he's your guy or not, you got to flow out to him. He is great.
Wallace missed the dunk, fouled by DeClerc.
I mean, he finds the little nooks and crannies, and he floats to the spots on the break as well as anybody on 3-point shots, and you got to be able to find him.
Ben Wallace shooting 2.
And you're going to see right here just a nice look ahead by Armstrong. But, you know, someone's got to help Curry out right there. Curry's trying to get over there. And if you're Rip Hamilton just standing there.
Ben Wallace is not a great free throw shooter, but had a very good game at the line in game 1. You see his totals tonight, 4 points and 12 boards. Ben was 7 of 8 from the line in game 1. Hit his first couple the other night and went 2 for 7 total for the game. The hits both there. to put the Pistons back within one. The Pistons, like so many teams do, chart everything in practice, and Ben, over the last couple of months, has improved his free throw percentage in practice into the 70s. We're seeing some of that in the game. Giracek, who had just a horrible first half, still can't get anything to go for him on either end.
That's the only way you get out of it. I mean, you keep shooting. If you're shooting guard, small forward, you shoot to get out of it. Try to get yourself maybe an offensive rebound, tip it, something like that.
McGrady helps defensively. Robinson a second try. And Cliff Robinson puts Detroit back on top by 1.
Well, something subtle there that Cliff Robinson did.
Phillips got lost in transition, banging with DeClerc, and it allowed Armstrong to get to 10 points here on the night. Good job hounding defensively by Armstrong, who started most every one of the Magic games the last 3 seasons. Now has become a bench player. Hamilton missed it, kept alive by Robinson to Michael Curry.
Well, it's a couple extra chance points that they have gotten, or a couple extra chances, I should say, they have gotten. Wallace, Robinson on the rebound. You got to box out and body up.
Armstrong called for the foul. Our second game is Dallas in Portland. The Mavs leading that series 2-0. Brad Nessler, Bill Walton, and David Aldridge will have that as soon as we're done here. And the guys in the studio will keep us updated on the game in Phoenix as well. Hamilton, that's 2. Tough shot.
You know, when it's going bad offensively, it seems like guys do that to you defensively too. Giracek right in his face. As good a defense you could have, and the guy just puts it right on top of your head.
Needs it. Has it. A 3. Good for him. Giracek, who had 2 points in the first 8 quarters of this series after averaging 14 a game, bangs a 3 there. McGrady defensively on Phillips. Chauncey steps back. He can't make it. Gooden on the push.
Got numbers.
With Wallace down behind the play. Armstrong to Gooden. Ben joins the play. Robinson helps defensively. Doesn't matter. Timeout Detroit.
Before the game, guys, Drew Gooden told me that he's been a little bit startled playing defense and offense against Cliff Robinson, because he remembers the first time he watched Cliff Robinson play. It was when Robinson was with Portland playing in the finals against Michael Jordan and the Bulls, and Drew Gooden was in 4th grade at the time.
Good defense by DeClerc, and Giracek coming back to the basket. Giracek runs to the line, feeling confidence for back-to-back 3. What one shot can do. +7 Orlando. On an 8-0 run. Robinson backs in on Gooden. McGrady the double. Turned it over. Tracy wants it. Takes it. Last touch by Gooden. Piston ball.
So right now, you know, even with Gooden, Giracek hitting a couple shots, it's been the Orlando defense that has turned this thing around. They're getting the deflections, they're getting the rebounds, and they're able to push it up and get this game going at their speed.
Remember how good the Pistons were in the opening quarter. They shot 12 of 21 from the field.
Ran him over.
Going the other way, offensive foul on Phillips. Chauncey is shaken up as well.
Well, when you're struggling, you force things that aren't there. And that just wasn't there. There was no hole there to go through. You're going to see right here, DeClerc, nice job of sliding over. And he just lowers his shoulder. That's like the belly option. Just give me a yard. Give me a yard.
And a foul called on Cliff Robinson. Both Phillips and Robinson pick up their first. No Piston has more than one personal foul. Phillips was his second, I beg your pardon. But a very frustrated Orlando fandom trying to see the fouls even up. It's now 19-9 fouls called against teams. You see the Pistons have gone cold. Giracek looked inside. Jess Kersey has the whistle first. Pushing foul on Detroit.
You know, he wouldn't have made that move in the first quarter. He wouldn't have made it in the second quarter. Or if he would have dribbled off his foot. You get the confidence now. You hit 2 jump shots. And you feel like, okay, it's coming back a little bit. Let me see if I can put the ball on the ground. make a move for myself and see if I can get somebody else.
We're looking for 3 in a row. That time he faked it, stepped on the sideline out of bounds.
See, now things are going his way. He missed the jump shot, but it didn't even count. He stepped out of bounds.
Rationalizing. One of the great equalizers. Chauncey Billups, after that offensive foul you saw on the replay, took the knee to the thigh. And he's a little hitch in the giddy-up, as they say. Hamilton is being blanketed defensively on the floor, finds Billups to the shoot. He lost the handle. And he's having trouble running as well. Giracek in rhythm. And Carlisle takes another timeout. He's trying to sub in Corliss Williamson for Michael Curry. And cannot right here, so Curry comes back in. Sometimes Chucky Atkins will play the point as they ice the left thigh of Billups.
Well, we talked earlier whose role players, or secondary players, if you will, would step up and be more efficient. And right now, without a doubt, it's been Orlando.
Yeah.
Drew Gooden has shot well, been extremely efficient. Daryl Armstrong, extremely efficient. Giracek here in the second half. And outside of Richard Hamilton's explosion in the first quarter, the Pistons are having a hard time finding someone who can get them a shot, a quality shot.
Wallace fouled at 29 feet away from the basket, and that's a rookie not understanding what's going on big picture.
Yeah, and what is he going to do with the ball 29 feet away? Not a lot of guys are going to do anything with the ball 29 feet away from the bucket, but certainly Ben Wallace.
14 fouls on Orlando, 2 on Detroit in the first 7 minutes of the third.
The defensive intensity right now is nice. Everybody's denying, putting a body on people.
Williamson across the lane. Free throws coming.
A little too much of a body that time. But that's okay. You'll deal with that.
Tom, it's interesting. People talked about this Detroit team and why did they not have second-round success last year, losing 4 straight to Boston. They are a 50-win team, and Rick Carlisle has done a great job. You look at the talent on this roster to win 50 back-to-back years. But the Pistons style of basketball, as you said before, all-out playoff-type intensity in the regular season, other teams come to match that level in the postseason. Thus, their advantage of hard work is slightly nullified as the intensity goes up from the opposition in the playoffs.
Absolutely. I firmly believe that. I think that's why they win so many games during the regular season. A testament to Carlisle and the Pistons, but when you get to the playoffs, everybody's giving maximum effort, maximum, I shouldn't say efficiency, just going out there and giving it their all, and I think you lose some of that advantage you have, and the talent starts to take over.
McGrady's been quiet in this run. Here he is. 5 in the quarter, 19 in the game, 5 assists. Orlando leads by 9. They trailed by 10 after 1. Pistons once led by 11 in the second quarter. Williamson goes baseline on Gooden. Got it back, but traveling, it never hit the rim. Williamson says it was touched by a Magic defender, and Eddie F. rushes over to help Ken Moore with what he saw there.
Well, he's saying somebody touched the ball, and that's why he was able to get it back. It was hard to tell from the angle we had whether a Magic player deflected that ball, whether it was the clerk. I'm sure that's what their discussion right now is. Did you see it clearly? Did anybody see this clearly? And we'll see the drive right there by Corliss Williamson going up and see if anybody, well, now let's see if anybody touches it before he did. No, that's a travel.
Doc Rivers has right to be unhappy.
Yeah, unless
Piston ball.
I was looking at the hand. That didn't hit the rim.
You say it hit the backboard.
Hit the backboard.
Shot clock stays the same. 16 to shoot for Detroit. Having a hideous offensive quarter. 3 of 8 field goals, 6 turnovers. Michelle.
Guys, Chauncey Billups still on the Detroit bench. He took a knee to that left thigh just above his knee. He's getting it rubbed down right now, but they don't think it's anything serious, and they do expect him to return, Mike.
There's the look on the offensive foul drawn by Andrew DeClerc a couple of moments ago. He stayed in for a few possessions, but couldn't go to Chucky Atkins at the point. Hamilton off the screen, first good look of the quarter. Wallace denied by Gooden physically. Good job by Gooden.
Oh,
McGrady,
nice.
Gooden, fouled by Williamson. Where will Detroit's offense come? And when the Pistons have struggled this year, that's been the question. Who's going to step up and knock shots down? Giricek, physical with Hamilton. Ben Wallace, not normally the guy you look to for offense.
Oh, that's horrendous. You're struggling offensively. You can't find a way to put the ball in the basket, and that's what you come up with? And you got to at least try to get Corliss Williamson or Cliff Robinson down in the box and let them work one-on-one and see if you can get somebody to space up lookout.
Beautiful pass to McGrady from Armstrong. And another timeout for Rick Carlisle. Vince Carter of the Toronto Raptors here in the house this evening. I talked to Vince before the game, and he said Tracy has always had the ability to play like this, but not the confidence of the "it's my team." That was part of the story with McGrady not staying in Toronto as well. It was hard to coexist with Vince, two take over the game type guys. Somebody needs to do that for Detroit, and Williamson scores there to make it a 9-point game.
Couldn't Tracy hook them up with a little better seats? He was up there with him. Come on. Come on, cuz. Help me out a little bit.
Tracy buys 17 regular season tickets. Giricek, 10 here in the quarter.
Well, the Pistons have lost their fluidity offensively. We talked about the 10 assists they had in the first quarter. 2 cents in the last 23 minutes. 2 assists.
Hamilton is banged, shooting 2. It's a foul on Giricek. 3 on Gordon. Here's Michelle.
You guys, one thing that Gordon Giricek has been doing much better since his shot started falling is fighting through those picks and staying with Rip Hamilton. And he was told that at shoot-around today by Doc Rivers. He said you can't afford to get sort of hung up on those screens. You've got to fight through them, and you've really seen Giricek come alive on defense doing that here.
Those are some tough screens, Michelle. Ben Wallace, Cliff Robinson. That's a lot of big fellas to get around here for Gordon.
Ben's a man-sized screen. He's the one guy I don't know if I'd want to see in HD TV. He's so big. It seems like he like busts through your TV and grab you. And this, I mean, he's as put together as any player in the NBA.
Well, how about that shoot in Sports Illustrated? The kids hanging from his biceps and stuff this year?
He is a man's man, is what he is.
14 rebounds. They're out on McGrady, and the foul is called. 9 here. Detroit needs a couple of stops and a couple of scores to tighten up the game heading to the 4th. DeClerc sees a lane.
Less than 2 minutes remaining in the quarter. Less than 2.
Robinson faking 3, taking 2. Stop, score, 7-point game.
Well, it's critical here at the end of the 3rd quarter. And that, not only from right now does Detroit have to go on a run, if you can just hold it at 7. You don't want to backslide again and be down 11-13.
Armstrong, good shot. He used a McGrady screen very nicely.
That guy missed a shot today?
Darrell Armstrong? No, he's not. The legendary Marty Aronoff working his 4th playoff game of the weekend here courtside with us.
Better be careful of getting up too close.
Hamilton on Giricek. Where's the help? Here's DeClerc. Hamilton. Now 1 of 6 here in the 3rd quarter after opening 5 of 9 in the 1st. Gooden coming down the lane. Stopped because of Wallace's presence. But he got the rebound over Wallace. And a foul called on Ben. And a technical foul as well. After 3 misses at the line tonight, that's Gooden's first free throw. It's an 11-point Orlando lead, equaling their largest of the night. The Magic trailed by 10 after 1, by 11 early second quarter here in Game 3 of the best of 7. Opening round series. Remember, Detroit the top seed in the East, Orlando the 8, but the difference from the 1 to the 8 seed was just 8 wins in the Eastern Conference. So there's not as drastic a difference between 1 and 8. McGrady to the bench for the first time tonight. Williamson 2 free throws.
One more for Corliss Williamson.
Do you have any idea why his socks were up in the first half and socks are down now in the second half? I wonder if it was one of those Cliff Robinson, like, changing the headband type deals. Maybe if your team's ahead, you take it. Teams, I don't know. Thought I'd throw that out there for you.
I got nothing for you on that, sorry. The Magic have taken a timeout. Pistons 3 more rebounds than the Magic through 3, and then it's an offensive foul on Orlando. Drew Gooden will pick it up, and that is his third. DeClerc has 4, Giracek and Gooden have 3, so there's Armstrong and Garrity.
Replacing Gordon Giracek.
Giracek will come to the bench after 10 points in this quarter and get a very good hand, as it's Armstrong, Garrity, Burke, Gooden, and Sasser to close out the final half minute.
And not to mention, back to the Minnesota-LA series, that Kevin Garnett's been a complete stud. Just unbelievable.
Hamilton a foul. 3 on Rip.
Better watch out.
His third hockey foul.
Pistons were whittling it down just a moment ago, but the Magic can go back up a dozen with a score and stop. Garrity just can get nothing going with that pelvis injury. Wallace, the rebound, is 15th. Last shot for Motown's team. Hamilton off a screen on the runner's Rip. Could not get it, and that's the third.
Well, John Barry, Mike, recently made this observation about the Pistons. He said, for whatever reason, we've created a pattern the last 3 weeks. We play poorly, fall behind, then turn it on in the fourth quarter and make it close. Sometimes we get lucky, most times we lose. We know that's not something we can do, especially in the playoffs. And yet here they are, guys, tempting fate again.
And a 17-point window in the second and the third will do that. Tayshaun Prince, John Barry on the floor as Williamson goes baseline and picks up the first foul of the quarter. It's on Garrity, and that's Pat's fourth.
Well, the second quarter of the game changed the whole complexion of the game. That's where the energy changed. That's where Orlando's bench came in and gave him a spark. Detroit's bench came in and really gave nothing besides Corliss Williamson, who scored 12 of their 17 bench points.
Wallace, the only starter, although Williamson's on the floor a lot in the closing minutes of the fourth for Detroit. Gary gave it away. Got a hoist. Air ball, shot clock violation.
Nothing easy. Nothing easy right now for the Detroit Pistons.
Well, it's what Doc and Kevin were talking about in the studio, and it's an Orlando team that was 24th out of the 29 in the league. They gave up 98 points a game.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say, unless Orlando just leaves the court, Detroit's not going to have 98 to end this game.
If we have 5 overtimes like Anaheim and Dallas last night in the NHL, they might strain to get to a C-0. Sean Kemp, physical on Wallace, and stayed right there as the presence. Darryl Armstrong is everywhere, but so is Corliss Williamson on that trip. Look at that. Big old smile on his face.
He's like, oh, you got me. I thought I had you on that one, but I didn't have you. You had me. Because right there he thinks, oh, man, where'd he come from?
That's nice. There's the first missed field goal. McGrady, who rested the last minute of the third and then the long commercial timeout between, back to start the fourth. Prince's long arm altered the release on that shot, and the rookie out of Kentucky. First round pick for the Pistons. 23rd overall selection in last year's draft. Tries to start it on this end. Barry is an energizer. Sometimes we'll do things that will shoot you out of the game. Williamson missed, kept the rebound.
You gotta watch the pick and pop with Garrity.
Brady left alone on Prince with a lot of help. They force him to the center. McGrady took another shot under the chin as he was fouled by Williamson.
His third and first team foul.
That first step of McGrady's eats up so much ground. He's just so long, and it takes him one dribble, pow, and then pow again as you're going down. Take that one. They can't call 2 fouls, so I'll get another shot in at you. I used to do that.
What, take the second one?
Oh, yeah, I gotta get fouled, and if he's gonna, like, if he tried to go up for a layup after he got fouled, I'd whack him again. You know what? They're not gonna call 2.
Is that the defensive equivalent of taking the shot when you know you're going to be subbed for and the guy's at the table waiting?
Pretty much. Liberties.
10 to shoot, Orlando plus 10. McGrady tries to spin on Prince, who's in his jersey. Sean Kemp an air ball, and Barry and Prince save it for Detroit.
Well, just nothing in the open court right now for Detroit. And then, well, they're not an open court team, fast-breaking team. You got to try to find a way to get something easy right now because every shot's being contested. Every shot, hand in your face. Just nothing. No good looks right now.
Not a lot of movement either. No. Barry, who can get hot from the outside, knocks down 3. 41% three-point shooter with his 6th team. Milwaukee, Golden State, Atlanta, the Lakers in 3 years in Sacramento. Gerald Sasser to McGrady, who got the first step on Prince. Nice recovery, 10 to shoot. T-Mac again. Barry there for help. Foul on John.
Well, he was bound and determined that time. And you see Gooden coming back in the game. His numbers from game 1 up, game 2 down. And tonight, 15 and 7. If you just stopped it right there and said, would you take 15 and 7 tonight, Coach Rivers? Oh, yeah. And he'd take 15 and 7.
That foul was given to Tayshaun Prince. Doc Rivers, 81 games of experience in the playoffs as a player during his years with Atlanta, the Knicks, and San Antonio, with the Clippers as well. 41, 43, 44, and 42 wins in his 4 seasons. And hasn't had the team that they had hoped of having with the Grant Hill injuries over the last 3 years. 4 ankle surgeries in 3 years. Grant, by the way, not in the building tonight. Williamson knocked down. And let's see what they have here. It's another Gooden foul. That's 4 on Drew.
Well, they're going WrestleMania down there, getting after one another. And Gooden's trying to front Corliss Williamson, and Corliss Williamson is trying to push him up the lane so they can open up a lob opportunity.
Nice head fake by Barry, dropped it to Corliss, who had cut further in. Tayshaun Prince, for a guy who didn't play a ton of minutes, not afraid of going at McGrady. Armstrong, big shot. Rushed it. Prince left, Atkins right, it's Chucky.
Nice.
6-point game.
They're just kind of hanging around.
Nervous thunder stick clatter in the building. Gooden.
Oh, touchdown.
Over the defensive player of the year, Wallace. Last touch, Detroit. All right, we'll see Scotty, I'm sure, in the same active role as he was in game 2 as Warriors Cheek's loyal assistant. Helping out Jimmy Lydon, Herb Brown, and the rest of the crew. Portland, Dallas comes up after we're done. Here it's a 6-point game, and let's check in with Michelle.
Mike Doc Rivers in that last huddle issued a warning. He said, you guys have to stay aggressive. He reminded them if they don't like their shot, don't force it. Pass the ball. He said every possession, you have to keep your focus. Take good shots, play great defense. Mike?
Well, MT, they haven't scored a field goal in nearly 5 minutes. 0 of 6 from the field here in the 4th, and they've seen a lead dwindle to a half dozen. McGrady with Prince defending. Atkins came over for help and foul.
Well, you got to get there a little quicker. If you get there once he's making his move, you've gone too late. Once he has the ball in the low block, if you're going to go and make sure you shut off the lane where he can sneak through.
Chauncey Billups, still the heat being applied to the left thigh that he injured in the third. It's Atkins who's gone since at the point guard spot. 4 to shoot for Armstrong. A shot clock violation, so that is now 0-7 for the Magic. And Detroit can make it 4 or 3 on this possession. What Michelle talked about a few moments ago, John Barry said sometimes they get themselves back in it. They're very close to doing just that. And Barry's been a big reason. His 3 was huge. Berkeley overplaying the steal. As McGrady with him goes all the way. Fouled by Tayshaun Prince, but great play on the defensive end by the rookie out of Auburn who spent 4 years in Greece and was signed this summer as a free agent.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see because I'm not sure there was a foul there. But let's see. Burke, nice job of stepping through, stepping around, and here he comes. It's hard to tell from that angle. But you know what? Burke looked like he was running after the ball after it went off the rim. Usually that's a pretty good indicator that, you know what, I don't know if I got fouled. I better go get that one.
I don't think Pac's been in that scoring position often this season. One more free throw coming. He took 58 free throws in 783 minutes this year. See still more Detroit free throws, but Detroit's more going to the basket team than Orlando is.
That's one thing that the Magic did do well through the course of the first 2 games. A lot of things well, but one of them was shoot free throws. They were lights out both games. I think 41 and 46 in the free throw line combined. Tonight, not as good.
Wallace missed inside, but a foul called. Leave on Gooden, and that is 5 on Drew.
His 5th, third team foul.
Team foul 3. So Wallace comes to the line. Fouled in the act, and they'll get Gooden on the bench here for a few and bring Andrew DeClerc in. And Chauncey Billups is getting up off the Detroit bench. We'll see how he moves.
Boy, that hurts. You want to talk about point blank. That was point blank. I mean, he almost was able to lay that in over the rim and couldn't get it down. And I'm not sure that may have been one of those ones if he makes a bucket, they don't call it a foul. But since he didn't, they give him the free throws. But instead of 2 easy points, you may get none.
Yeah, 45% shooter, missed them both. Lead remains 7. Chauncey Billups doesn't look that good as he takes his first steps. McGrady now sees Cliff Robinson over Cliffy. 3 chase for it. Dive on the floor by Armstrong, keeps it alive. 3T T-Mac fouled by Robinson. 3 on Cliff.
A great hustle by Armstrong. Love guys that get on the floor, get the wood burns, the floor burns. Here it comes.
15th foul, by the way. You got to love that hustle from Darrell Armstrong. Dove on it like a football player. Was a football player in his college days at Fayetteville State. As McGrady missed the first. He was a football player, but he was a kicker.
Was he really?
Yeah, played for 2 years. Now, he didn't want to see Warren Sapp. He said, I'm kicking. He made a 48-yard field goal in his career at Fayetteville State twice.
Wow.
Played in the CBA, the USBL, played in GBA, the Global Basketball Association. He played in Spain and in Cyprus. If you go to Cyprus to keep the dream alive, you deserve 9 years in the league and some serious playoff minutes.
Here, here.
Up 8 as we approach 7 minutes. I want to say hi to our viewers in Cyprus tonight, by the way. Williamson. Offensive foul. On Williamson.
You're going to see Coles right there. Nice job by DeClerc. That's a terrible call. And the referees, as you pointed out, Mike, the referees did a real nice job tonight. Real nice job. Well-called game. That was a missed call. DeClerc was sliding on that one.
The now confident Giracek after his 10-point third turned it over. Chauncey Billups with it. He hasn't looked for a shot his first couple of times. Barry has Ben, so they come and double John, who throws it out of bounds off Pat Burke.
What's your problem with Detroit? Where do you go? With Orlando, you go to McGrady and let everybody feed off him. For the Pistons, what do you got? Who can get you something right now on their own, and who can get somebody else something?
Barry, that's 3. Rebound for Wallace, who keeps it alive, and is now 16 for Ben.
Phillips needs to do something.
I don't think he's got it. I think that thigh's really bothering him. Williamson, tough shot. Rebound to Clark.
One guy on the boards.
Robinson steal. Thought about taking the 3. Phillips to Corliss. 6-point game. The guy who can be the scorer for Detroit and was in the opening quarter, Rip Hamilton, set to come in halfway through final period. T-Mac, sweet move, better shot. He has 25. Doesn't look like he's going to get a third consecutive game with 40, but it's his first field goal of this fourth quarter. Williamson fouled by Clark. His 5th. The Mouseketeers, Tracy and the Pips, whatever you want to call them here in the Magic Kingdom, have put on a much better show, similar to their Game 1 effort. Magic won Game 1. Pistons won Game 2 as they split in Auburn Hills. Hamilton back in, the hot guy in the opening quarter. 2 to shoot. 1 to shoot. Didn't get it off. Well, they say he did and he missed. I think it was in his hands. Meantime, he tangles with Burke behind the play. Brady has Williamson. Invading his personal space.
Well, they're going to have to help, because I think he can go by him whenever he wants to.
Hamilton helping. Tough shot. Wallace inhales another one. 17 for Ben.
What a Clark, great position. Just missed time to jump that time.
Ben 13, 16, and 17 rebounds in games 1, 2, and 3.
Well, they're only down 8 points. That's it, 8 points. But it seems like right now, 8 points would be a huge effort to get. In a quarter, let alone the last 4.5 minutes.
Can't get a good look. Another air ball, but it was put in before the shot clock by Williamson. A half dozen, 4.5 to go in the fourth.
Well, if you got to rely on stuff like that to score points.
Orlando's defense has been really good.
It's been tremendous.
Ooh, Flitson was tremendous there with the block by Robinson. McGrady has 2 free throws for Tracy. Good and ready to check in with his 5 fouls.
Situation. Tracy McGrady shooting
Michelle?
3.
Guys, Tracy McGrady said coming into this game, when I'm feeling good on the basketball court and the jumpers are falling from me, you're pretty much at my mercy. I just stay in attack mode when I see it's one-on-one. And it seems as though earlier in this game, Detroit did a nice job doubling McGrady, making him less productive, but when he is one-on-one, he gets opportunities like this one.
Well, he's just a tough guy to guard. When he gets it going, and you got to be long, you got to be athletic to be able to stay up with him, and if Corliss Williamson's going to try to guard him, you're going to have to send help immediately. Corliss Williamson, a nice defender, but more of a wide body and can bang you. He just can't stay with Tracy McGrady on the outside.
McGrady 2 of 3, 6 of 9 on the night. Orlando as a team 10 of 19. From the free throw stripe, most important, they are +8 as we approach 4 minutes. Final period, Game 3, series square at 1. Game 4 here on Sunday on ESPN, 5:30 Eastern Time. Hamilton, who knew the help was coming from DeClerc, trying to beat him to it. It's off Gooden, 2 to shoot for Detroit. Hamilton, 1 of 10 shooting since his good opening quarter.
We got to watch the second guy here coming off a screen. Baseline or get a guy for a lob pass.
Hamilton tries to break out, Gooden pops out. Robinson taking 3. Air ball, shot clock violation. We've got 3 of those here in the second half. poor shooting since the first. The Magic 9% here in the fourth, and they lead by 8. They've only lost 2 points off their lead, and they've shot 9% from the field in 9 minutes. Wallace, nice job in the air. They've only lost 2 points off their lead, and they've shot 9% from the field in 9 minutes. Wallace, nice job in the air.
Well, at least if you're shooting 9%, you can go like 1 for 8 and increase it. Always nice.
9%, gosh. 7 and 17 for Ben McGrady inside. Held into a foul.
They bodying up on him, and right there, got the separation, a little too late. Ben Wallace trying to get over. I'm not sure if his feet were inside. Yeah, feet were on the line. That's an automatic block and send him to the free throw line, chance for a three-point play. Boy's free throws, boy.
Tracy's in the 70s, a 79% shooter, but he is 6 of 10 at the stripe tonight. 46 in game 2. Tracy has 8 of Orlando's 9 here in the fourth quarter.
Well, you shoot 12 points, and all they do is shave 2 points off your lead. I mean, at this pace, Detroit they got to find someone to score. At this pace, Orlando won't even have to score again to win the game.
Atkins back in. Chauncey Billups couldn't go with that thigh injury. They go to Wallace over Gooden. Air ball off to Clark. Detroit ball.
I mean, what in the world is that? I mean, give Ben Wallace due. The guy is a battler, heart and soul of this team, plays hard. But if that's your offensive option, with 3 minutes left to go in the third game of the first round of the playoffs, something has gone terribly wrong.
Atkins the trigger, got to be a quick one here. Williamson. Wallace got the rebound. Trying to go right back offensively. Tough shot, Wallace again. Atkins got the rebound. They got a bang one. Hamilton a 3. Check got the rebound. You're 100% right. You cannot win that way.
No, I mean, I don't know. It seems like all the continuity that they had in the first quarter, and that seemed like about 5 years ago.
A score here would be big. McGrady 3. He's so good, Gordon. 20 for Ben Wallace tonight. Approaching 2 minutes, almost a must-score possession for the Pistons. Atkins for Hamilton, that's 2. His second field goal of the last 3 quarters. A half dozen the margin, final 2 minutes.
Well, that was a creation. Chucky Atkins did a good job of creating for somebody. And now it's a catch and shoot.
Atkins with the foul. Detroit is over the limit, so we'll get free throws. You can follow the NBA legends like Moses Malone, the Love It Live playoff tour on NBA.com. Moses with Dr. J.
I mean, right now, this fourth quarter, these two teams offensively have just been, flat rude. If they're dropping humanitarian aid over in Afghanistan right now, it would land in New Zealand. That's how far they are off.
Number 20, Tom Berry.
Oh, gosh. Armstrong tonight, 31, you heard beauty. 31 minutes, 14 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. Huge game from Darryl Armstrong. Jacques Vaughn is the starter. Armstrong was the starter for 3 years, but he's been so good in a key game tonight. Robinson taking 3. Barry trying to keep it alive. McGrady gets it for Orlando. Plus 8. Inside 100 seconds, fans on their feet at the TD Waterhouse Center. McGrady looking for a knockout punch. Giracek taking. Rebound 21 for Wallace. Pistons must score here in the final 80 seconds. Dario hoists a quick one. Robinson to Wallace again inside. Third time in the last 2 minutes. And he has free throws coming, a 45% free throw shooter. Gooden has fouled out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. If you make He's trying to think, you make these 2 free throws, you get to within 6 points, you run it down 20, and a well-deserved standing ovation with thunder sticks and all for Drew Gooden.
15 points, 7 rebounds. That's a big make of a free throw for a poor free throw shooter. Wallace trying to make the next one, make it a 2-possession game. Nope. Armstrong came in for the board. It's out of bounds off John Barrett. The clerk on the floor is a 64% free throw shooter. This is the guy they'd like to give it to here.
And that's why he's running all the way down to the end of the court.
Giracek's a good shooter at the line. 82%, third among NBA rookies.
I think you wait one more time. You wait one more time and see if maybe you can get a 3 and then foul. And it's, you don't want to foul now. Now that it's down to 10, you play D.
3-possession game. They all need to be 3s. Pistons are struggling offensively. Hamilton cuts baseline to Clark with the block. And that should close business here in Florida tonight. The Orlando Magic eliminated 3-1 in the best-of-5 opening round the last couple of years. Will be playing for a 3-1 series lead on ESPN Sunday afternoon. McGrady for the exclamation point. Rebound Wallace, his 22nd. Robinson at 2. Makes the margin 7 with 16.6 to go. And they fouled Darrell Armstrong. Well, you come back to a couple of things as you look ahead to Game 4. Chauncey Billups did nothing for Detroit. What will his health be? I know he didn't show it tonight, but he's a 16-point scorer for this team. They're going to need him. They were better on McGrady, but the other guys got theirs tonight. And Detroit will have to do a better job on Gooden and Giracek, the 2 rookies who came over in the Mike Miller trade from Memphis.
Well, they're going to have to figure out a way. I mean, I think a lot of it's going to have to do with the health of Chauncey Billups. Can he start hitting some outside shots and create some space for himself? Because him and Hamilton are going to have to create for their teammates. Atkins has done a pretty good job of creating for his teammates. But other than that, they went through about a 2.5-quarter stretch where they were just ground down to, I mean, it was ugly.
Atkins drives, is fouled by Andrew DeClercq. He is fouled out. 10.6 to go. It's the stupidest phrase uttered by sportscasters these days. Score the ball. What are you going to score? Your foot? A cone? But Detroit needs to score the ball a lot better than they have here in Game 3 when Game 4 comes your way at 5:30 Eastern on Sunday afternoon.
They need to find a way to get easier shots. What they do.
Right.
I mean, Orlando played some very good defense, but if you're Coach Rick Carlisle, you have to find a way to get guys open shots because a lot of the shots they were taking were tough shots.
So the Detroit Pistons, who won 50 games this year, are the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Armstrong fouled. They will be playing a huge pressure game here on Sunday. As we wrap it up in Orlando, Magic take the 2-1 lead in the best-of-7 as they win